Imagine with me for a moment. Feel this question and answer honestly. What if you had been told that karma is a very real thing, and at the age of 52, everything you had done, every decision you had made up to that point would manifest in your life going forward? I am here to tell you this is in fact very true. Let me tell you a true story about the cycles in all of our lives as human beings. We write our own story based on the decisions we've made and actions we take in this life. From the time we begin to develop our egos, the psyche, logical and critical thinking skills, rationale, around the age of puberty, 12 to 13 years old, we begin our journey through karmatic cycles every 12 to 13 years. From 24 to 26 years old, we can accomplish anything. The world is at our fingertips. We are in the perfect center of our universal space. It's called the zone. When we get into the zone, everything works for us. Passion is flowing. If we had known this before we reached this age, maybe the next cycle wouldn't be so disappointing, causing self-doubt, which is a decision killer, because decision equals life. There are three aspects and orientations of our reality that we call life: business, work, finances, money, and happiness, joy. We must be able to honestly separate them and understand that we will give up one or two out of the three at any given moment, no matter how rich or poor we are. We cannot balance all three equally. Then, from 36 to 39 years old, men usually enter a midlife crisis. Feeling their future is slipping away, women feel left to fend for themselves with no support from their man. This is a trying time if you don't understand what cycle we're in, for this is when the fear of death starts creeping in. What have we accomplished in our lives regardless if we are rich or poor? From 48 to 52 years old, we reach the end of our ancestral karmatic programming and are set free, debt free, ancestral sin free from those bonds and enter our own karmatic rewards based on the decisions and the actions that we've built for ourselves within those 52 years. From 52 years old, you start a whole new cycle for yourself, but in reverse. It is your complete maturity. From 60 to 65 years old, we enter the retired phase, programming to tell you that you are tired of the stressful toil on earth. Physical strength and power decrease, so you receive a bonus, a pension, or Social Security for working so hard. But is it a fair bonus? I can tell you it is not fair. From 72 to 78 years old, our senses, spiritual senses, decrease. Therefore, we become more sensitive and demand more respect, whether we deserve it or not. This is the time in life when we understand that we should live in fairness, not in righteousness. Let's hope no one has to get this old before they understand this very important fact. It is our complete spiritual awakening, and philanthropy or theology will be our desire from that point on. After the age of 78, the best activity to attain physical youth, health, and appearance is swimming. Through this, we return to our aquatic origins. Water is our origin. Reducing the friction of walking and going back to more harmonious activities for our tired bodies will allow us to keep the movement going without putting much more stress on ourselves. From 84 to 91 years old, our minds start reasoning less, so we can become like a child again. This is a sad situation, but it's true and must be mentioned because it is inevitable. We wish we could give you hope in each cycle, but it would be a lie. From 96 to 104 years old, our soul, spirit, and free will are now able to tell our life story. Tell your story, your experiences. Pass the knowledge on to the next generations. There's no holding back and no fear of telling the truth, as there is no fear of death. Live your life accordingly within these divine cycles. 104 years plus 4 years, which is the encapsulation of all cycles, takes us to 108 years old. Kind of like a reset. Would you like to be young and healthy by 108? Wonder why they shorten the lifespan of humanity? 108 is a divine number. When we reach 108 years old, we were programmed to start aging. Not only is it the fault of others tinkering with our DNA, but it is also the combination of how we live these two 52-year cycles of our lives. 2 times 52 equals 104, plus 4 to encapsulate all cycles, which takes us to 108. Our soul elements are that significant. You are not your body, you are not your emotions, you are not your ego, and you are not your mind. You attract your free will and you choose your spirit. For you are an absolute, true, beautiful, unique soul. What is the benefit of living this way? Living 52 years from our soul elements gives us youth and health, which will allow us to be able to live longer, to make it to 108 and beyond, because we follow the divine code, the divine blueprint for our beings. Our souls to experience more knowledge, more happiness, more joy in this lifetime. Now you know the secret to a long life, honesty, and the number of life is 52. Every time you are dishonest, you age a little. You can feel it and you know it. It isn't easy in this current society, and you know and feel that too. When you are honest, you liberate yourself, and a little bit of light takes over any darkness we have allowed into our souls. The chemicals in our body and brain liberate us through this honesty. Compared to when we lie, those same chemicals are working hard to come up with a cover-up for the lie you've told, and it is consuming. These chemicals actually vibrate in accordance to this lie or honest action. And please know that a lie is a future truth as it vibrates itself into existence eventually. Reprogramming ourselves back to the natural order, the prime directive, the divine encoding is needed to ensure our children, grandchildren, and future generations have a future. When we reach the age of 52, our lives unfold in the ways we've lived the past 52 years, and the whole entire universe works for you instead of you working for it. This is a prime directive. Were we honest, patient, aware, and considerate to ourselves and others? Were we generous? Were we humble? Were we forgiving, understanding, and sympathetic towards others? Were we compassionate, empathetic, the literal feeling of others' pain or joy? What did we desire? Were we fair? Did we love in a way as to bring harmony into our environment and to others? Were we creative in how we approached life and all of its trials as fairly as possible while controlling our emotions? This also includes being fair to ourselves. Don't forget. Proverbs 5:21 through 23. For the Lord sees clearly what a man does, examining every path he takes. An evil man is held captive by his own sins. They are ropes that catch and hold him. He will die for lack of self-control. He will be lost because of his great foolishness. That feeling you've always had or been told that you were being watched? Well, We have been watching ourselves through our own ancestral karmatic program, or AKP, a divinely given portion of our soul. At 52 years old, we are released from this AKP that activates our deservingness, and we live on with the karma that we have created for ourselves. What do we gain by living within the elements of our soul for these 52 years? Again, we gain youth and health, which gives us a joy-filled, long life. Do not expect fulfillment, as this would be the end of your spirit experience in your body. Achievement or accomplishment is what to strive for, as to not chase spirit out of your body. Have hope and plans for your achievements and accomplishments within your soul elements. Have you ever wondered if you actually deserved less than what you have right now? Or have you always thought you deserved more? Answer yourself honestly. Do me a favor. Grab a mirror. Look deep into your own eyes, the windows to your soul. Ask yourself this question with complete honesty. Do I deserve less than I have right now? Do I deserve more? If you've answered yourself that you do deserve more, and you're under the age of 52, do not blame yourself. This is the deserving programming from your ancestors placed inside of you that cause your RAS, your reticular activating system, to be triggered in a way that follows that ancestral program. This is not your specific program, as you have control of yours by your actions and your decisions within your first 52 years of life and beyond. So again, do not blame yourself, asking yourself, why does this always happen to me? Now you understand where this comes from. The Aztecs, the Mayans, and our European ancestors understood the debt-free 52-year cycle of our ancestral karmatic programming and called it a jubilee. Every 52 years, the Mayans would extinguish all light, flames, candles, everything, no light for 24 hours throughout the entire empire, celebrating and honoring the end of a cycle, being debt-free from their ancestral karmatic bondage. This cycle was a cornerstone of Mayan astrology and their understanding of time, symbolizing rebirth and continuity within their AKP. Thoth, also known as Quetzalcoatl or Kukulkan in the Aztec and Mayan civilizations, their plumed serpent god, taught them these cycles and how to traditionally honor and celebrate. The leaders of our planet would love for us to never figure this out, as it would break so much programming that they put into place to promote suffering and allow stress and irritation into our boundaries, our aura, for hundreds of years. We must learn how to properly use patience, one of our soul elements, for duration, pathways, and outcomes, which will give us the tolerance to deal with agitation, stress, and confusion, which is outside of our boundaries. If you allow these things inside of your boundary, then it will cause frustration and finally irritation. The ego, rationale, logic helps temper our emotions, but at this point, irritations are harder to control with those emotions. Think hard of causality, cause and effect. It will damage you if you allow your emotions to run wild and untamed. So be fair, because every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Fairness activates luck. This is the second layer of our soul. We should watch the tone of our voices, the sound, for sound is used as a weapon as well as a creation of light. Our ancestors have encoded us with DNA packed with information on the deservingness we will acquire. For our children and grandchildren, we have a responsibility and desire to leave a personal legacy of living from our soul elements as to ensure the best deservingness for our loved ones. We are the change makers and the code breakers. Do you really want to be a change maker and a code breaker? You now have the tools to make this happen. Living from our soul elements, we are rewriting the code, reprogramming the entire system of our offspring, starting with ourselves. If everyone knew that at 52 they would reap the benefits or less desired consequences of their actions, humanity may think twice before doing something selfish, unfair, inconsiderate, dishonest, or just downright evil. Every disservice we do to ourselves and others lets a little darkness into our souls. It can get muddied up with decisions we have made or get clearer and more aware based on how we have chosen to approach any given moment in the time we've been given. The healthy ego is very needed, but it must be balanced, as it will kill you if you let it. We were given logical thinking skills that our egos give us when working with the mind. The mind gives us reason, and together create art and beauty, a human characteristic only. Through reason and logic, we were given amazingly powerful tools to navigate life in such a way that we can feel the absolute truth at the core of our souls, follow the guidance of our free will and our spirit to be able to make the best decisions for our survival first, and then comfort, which activates happiness. We've been gifted the ego to temper our emotions through common sense, which is knowledge. Knowledge generates comfort, and comfort activates happiness. Knowledge isn't power unless it is manipulating others. True knowledge is comforting and brings a divine power because we are sure. Uncertainty can be tolerated a bit more because you know the outcome in your soul. Let's reflect on our lives for a moment and ask ourselves, have I been fair in my life? Have I been honest? Honestly answer yourself. That is the first part to accepting you as you are and knowing yourself. The deepest and darkest things about ourselves. Maybe we don't like some things that scare us. Face them head on, honestly, then decide how you want to proceed with the information you know about yourself. Knowing at 52 years of age, you will benefit from those decisions. The decision is ours. How are we living our lives before we turn 52 years old? What do we like about ourselves and what do we not like? Establish boundaries. Don't be afraid to say no if you're asked to do things that go against your principles. These assertive principles are to be established for our protection, survival, and the betterment of our lives as a whole. Everything must be in harmony with each other. This is the natural order, the prime directive, the way our universe was crafted and designed. Harmonic perfection rings through all things. The Mandelbrot fractals and Fibonacci patterns are encoded in everything. Yin and yang, balance, harmony put into motion on every scale, from micro to macro, as above, so below, an infinite movement through our universe. How do we currently code ourselves through our everyday decisions and actions? How will we code our future generations' DNA? As parents and grandparents, we want the best for our offspring. Let's leave them a code that will bring creative and loving deservingness instead of destruction and pain. It all starts within us. We are the coders of the new world. Let's build our society within the elements of our souls and shine by example. Remember that at 52, you reap your own karma. Are you looking forward to this karmatic unfolding, or are there some changes we can make to ensure we are encoding our future generations with ethics, with love, fairness, and overall harmony? John 3:5, Jesus answered, "Truly, truly, I say to you, unless one is born of water and the Spirit, he cannot enter the kingdom of heaven." Know thyself and join the new era of change makers and code breakers. Feel this absolute truth inside of you. In our next video, we will walk you through the principled assertiveness. Thank you so much for watching.